Previously on Murram to Mpigi. They don't call me Mr. Greenlight for nothing. That bump in the road is an indication that we're now riding on the Murram roads. Oh no, not a Sino truck. Taking no prisoners. Not bad, 45.3 kilometers and just after 25 past 8, so what on Google? Hey, let's keep this road safe. This is Massacre Road, not Massacre Road. Wow. A grim reminder there to stay safe on those roads, folks, whether you're riding or driving. A bit of a meeting point here for the Bluebird guys. It's a bit of a pop-up market and fast food, street food. It's matoki for sale here. Oh, by the way, as a Brit in Uganda, I'm quickly learning that you call potatoes here Irish. I suppose that's got something to do with the fact that there's so many sweet potatoes. I just call them potatoes. So from the coffee shop in Mpigi, I took the road and turned left into an area called Mpigi, and I'm now heading on the Kasanji road. This section of the road from Mpigi to Kasanji is 11 kilometers, and then I'll take a left and then head back to Nakawuko, the roundabout that I showed you on the previous episode, which will be about 10 kilometers. My first impression of Kasanji Road is that it's in generally good condition. There are not so many villages on this route, but small trading areas and trading estates, and we passed through about 3 or 4 of those before reaching Kasanji. And most of the trading estates offer the same thing. There's usually a small supermarket, a hardware store, a welder making the windows and the gates, maybe 1 or 2 street food stalls selling things like chapatis and samosas, and the famous Uganda Rolex, of course, and possibly a mobile phone kiosk, either MTN or Airtel, selling credit for mobile phones. Definitely this morning, though, I'm riding through a more rural area of Uganda. There's more forestry here. You'll see banana plantations off to the side of the roads, and occasionally fields of maize, for example. Definitely down in the swamp areas you'll find people growing yams, which are very popular. So I really feel this morning I'm riding through the local communities. There's no tourism here, and no dollar prices, no safari vehicles taking people up to the national parks. Just natural landscapes with the locals just getting on with their everyday lives. A great Sunday morning bimble as far as I'm concerned anyway. So apart from the farming and the forestry, there is another aspect of Uganda life which I find quite interesting, and that is that people make their own bricks for their houses. The clay soil is often excavated from the land, formed into brick moulds when it's wet, and then stacked into a pile with a hollow in the center. So what they do, they cover it with grass and more soil on the outside, and then in the center, which is hollow, they build a furnace which then bakes the raw clay brick. You often see these stacks smoking away for days on end until the muddy clay brick then becomes a hard brick ready for building. So it's a cheap form of the building brick, and it's useful because you can take it from your own land. Great idea. So keep an eye out on the side of the road on this journey. You'll see many furnaces that have already been stacked, ready for use in the future. I love the way that the pace of life here is so relaxed and so much slower than in the town. And here's another trading area, typical of the places that I described earlier, with their hardware stores and their kiosks. Very interesting places. The ride home from Mpigi was going very well and I was enjoying the views, but I had no idea as to what was about to happen. Well, lesson learnt there. No damage to the camera, I hope, although I'll check it when I get home. It has that protection around the outside of the camera, so it looks like that casing took most of the hit. But here's the thing, it's a third-party camera mount, and ever since I've had it, it's been loose against the camera, and I've had to use a bit of gaffer tape just to tighten up that connection, but even this morning that didn't work. I think in the future I can only use the helmet camera on these types of roads. There's just too many vibrations. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Let's get on with the ride. Sorry about that, I didn't really mean to draw you into thinking that it was something worse than it actually was, but you have to admit the camera footage was quite dramatic. Anyway, I'll let you know on the next video what happened to the camera. But while we're on the subject of riding on these Murram surfaces, I've come to notice that there are several types of surface. The flat surface, which is in good condition with good drainage. There is a washboard type surface, which again is on the flat surface, and but it has this huge vibration on the motorbike when you're traveling, almost like baked clay. And then going up the hills you can see the erosion in the center of the roads, which are always dangerous, but you always get this kind of baked shiny surface as well on a sunny day like this, so you can really tell what type of road you are, how to read the road if you like. Yeah, it's useful, and I'm learning all the time how to ride these Murram roads. At this point I've completed the first 11 kilometers of the journey between Mpigi and Kasanji, and I'm just coming into Kasanji now. As I mentioned before, there is another way of getting between Entebbe and Mpigi, and if I were to carry on Kasanji Road now, that would take me the shortest distance back home, but there is a little bit of a twist on that story. But for now we're going to take a left, and I'll make a video, I hope, in the future about that shortest journey between Entebbe and Mpigi. Which reminds me also, it may be a good time to say that if you want to keep up with what's going on with my future YouTube channel, then I would encourage you to not only like the videos. I'm very encouraged by the number of views that I'm getting at the moment, so thanks for those who are watching them and pressing the like button. But if you want to keep up with the videos and get notification as to when they're coming out, then please, I would recommend that you subscribe to the channel as well. So Mpigi to Kasanji, 11 kilometers. I've now turned left. I've ridden through the village of Kasanji, and now I'm heading east now towards Nakawuko, which is a distance of about 10 kilometers. A few more hills to climb and hills to descend. I'm going to read the road very carefully. There are a lot of dips in the road, a lot of erosion, and I don't want to get pushed off the road by any matatus or trucks along the way, so I'm just going to take my time on this section. I'm noticing a few more of those brick kilns on the side of the road, and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if I could stop somewhere to have a look at the process. And I come down to the swamp to find a gang of young lads working on a stack right now.
You want? Huh? What?
Okay. Are you stupid? Wasn't quite the response I was expecting. I didn't want to hang around just in case things turned out in a different way. People don't often appreciate the fact that I'm just making a YouTube video and I mean no harm. Despite all of that, I hope you got a chance to see the building of the brick kiln. Anyway, onwards to Nakawuka. This guy's carrying his chain guard. Another good reason for checking all your bolts when you get back after riding these Murram roads with their bumpy surfaces. Well, that seems to be the worst of the downhill Murram sections, and I was careful to avoid those matatos. Take your time, as they say. A bit of construction ahead, and I think those waving flags mean just be cautious. I'm going to try and get past this Zeno truck, but he's having none of it, and his acceleration is far better than mine at this time. I'm just going to get covered in dust, so I'm going to hold back and take my time going up the hill. You can see how much dust this guy's kicking out. It's unbelievable. For whatever reason, he decided to pull over, so I grabbed my chance to overtake, and finally I make my way into Nakawuko. The town's beginning to come alive a bit now, a couple of hours since I passed through on the outward journey, and I'm now heading back towards Entebbe. Once more through the water crossing, but I think I'm well practiced at this one now. People have really taken advantage of this swamp area to make their bricks, and they're all stacked up here on the side of the road. And yet another mouthful of dust as I ride through Sisa. I'm just going to pull over for a few seconds now so that we can take a look over the distance to the areas of Kitovu and Sekiwunga. I'm coming close now to the end of the Murram section, and instead of going straight on through Buza again, I've decided to take a left just after a disused petrol station ahead, and I'm going to go down the valley towards Arkwright City. This is another route I discovered last year. That was a little bit too close and a little bit too fast for my liking. I'm looking forward to getting on the tarmac road. So this will be the last steep climb on the Murram road, and we'll be back on the tarmac enjoying. Thank goodness for that. Welcome back to the tarmac roads, or as they say here in Uganda, the Kolas. We're now crossing over the express highway, and I know for a fact that this truck is going straight on, and that particular road is about 5 kilometers of speed humps. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn right here, take you up into Arkwright City, and then we're going to have a look across and see where we've ridden today. So straight ahead is the Crown Soda Factory, and then we're following the line around the hill in the distance, and that's the route we took early this morning through Buzi and then on to Sisa. I'm very impressed with this first white house. He has the best veranda view in this area, I'm sure. They say you should always face your demons, and there's a really good reason I'm bringing you along this road this morning. A year ago when I got the bike, I came along here and I totally misread this junction. I missed the stop sign. I'm turning left, and the hill is at least a 1 in 3, 1 in 4, and I made the schoolboy error of trying to change into second gear just around about now, lost power and completely came off the bike. There is no way that you can do this hill in second gear. So today I had to try just one more time to conquer that demon. That junction should definitely be on a motorcycle riding test. So I'm coming to the end of this episode of Murram to Mpigi Part 2. I'll put the link to Part 1 if you haven't seen it yet. I would recommend that you see both parts of this to appreciate the journey at the end of this video. The loop ride this morning from Entebbe to Mpigi and back will be about 100 kilometers by the time I get home. I hope you've enjoyed the journey with me this morning, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Brass Birdie Adventures. Thanks for watching.